So this is from Ken Ham again. Interestingly, the word dragon is used a number of times in the Old Testament. In most instances, the word dinosaur could substitute for dragon, and it would fit nicely. Obviously, those ones where the dragon is a personification of Satan wouldn't fit. Creation scientists believe that dinosaurs were called dragons before the word dinosaur was invented in the 1800s. Remember, dinosaurs, our formal knowledge of them, fairly recent. We would not expect to find the word dinosaur in Bibles like the Authorized Version, as it was translated well before the word dinosaur was ever used. Also, there are many very old history books in various libraries around the world that have detailed records of dragons and their encounters with people.
Nice.
Right. And if you found a dragon, dinosaur, a great terrible monster, you would probably just let it go on living right next to you and rampage your hut and stuff like that, or would you go to seek to destroy it? So another logical reasoning in why they're not around. But yeah, the knights and the dragons. Surprisingly or not so surprisingly for creationists, many of these descriptions of dragons fit with how modern scientists would describe dinosaurs, even Tyrannosaurus rex. Unfortunately, this evidence is not considered valid by evolutionists. Why? Only because their belief is that man and dinosaur did not live at the same time. So it doesn't fit their narrative. It's got to be rejected. June?
My former pastor used to tell a story about a petrified riverbed in Texas where there are dinosaur prints and man prints walking side by side.
Were the man prints like a half an inch higher and therefore millions of years later?
No, but they looked like he was running.
I'm sure they were. I'm sure he were. Last thing from Ken Ham. However, the more we research the historical literature, the more we realize there is overwhelming evidence that dragons were real beasts, although they probably didn't breathe fire, much like our modern reconstructions of dinosaurs, and that their existence has been recorded by many different people, even just hundreds of years ago. So 14, 1500s, 1600s, that time.
Michael, there is a book that Ken Ham has out about the possibility of fire-breathing dragons.
Oh, yeah?
I'll get it for you. But a certain dragon had on the top of his head a hollow, bony area. And he likened it to what the bombardier beetle does. And if you've ever seen those, they actually do breathe out, I think it's steam, hot vapor. But he was thinking that this animal could perhaps have mixed chemicals.
So it's more caustic than actual fire.
Yeah. If you were there and got in the way of it, it might feel like fire.
Yeah.
But I'll see if I can locate it for you.
Well, yeah, the Komodo dragon has a very noxious saliva. And what they typically do is they'll bite you and then let you die of bacterial infection, and then they'll eat you, if you're a calf or a human found wandering. So maybe there's some connection between that.
I'll find it and see what it's interesting that there could have been some that did breathe at least
some form of something you didn't want on you. Yeah. So what happened to the dinosaurs? Where'd they all go? Where are they at? They just we're here now. Well, here's some answers, some real, and I think some were given as humorous. But these are what real scientists have said happened to dinosaurs. Possibilities: starved to death, overate to death, poisoned, blinded by cataracts so they could not reproduce. Mammals ate their eggs, which I always found this one funny. You have this dinosaur, and then you have a little rat, and surely some of them were eaten by eggs, but so much that they went extinct? Probably not. Volcanic dust, comets or meteorites, sunspots, mass suicide, parasites, slip discs. So there were no chiropractors, so, nothing to help them out.
It's shrinking brain.
I removed some of them, but yeah, shrinking brain, greater stupidity, that's in your text there.
no flood, huh?
No flood, no, they didn't die from the flood, according to scientists. All right, so this is what Ken Ham says on the subject. Now comes the important question: what caused all these extinctions? This is what Ken Ham cites another evolutionist saying. This is from the evolutionist still. Now comes the important question: what caused all these extinctions at one particular point in time, approximately 65 million years ago, again, give or take a week? Dozens of reasons have been suggested, some serious and sensible, others quite crazy, and yet others merely as a joke. Every year people come up with new theories on this thorny problem. The trouble is that if we were going to find just one reason to account for them all, it would have to explain the death, all at the same time, of animals living on the land and of animals living in the sea, but in both cases, of only some of those animals, for many of the land dwellers and many of the sea dwellers went on living quite happily into the following period. Alas, no such one explanation exists, of course, in his mind. So the problem that scientists have is they have to come up with some worldwide catastrophic event that kills only the dinosaurs and none of the other mammals that are in living in that time, if they're going to fit their narrative. So what gives? And here's Kinham's response. At the time of the flood, many of the sea creatures died, but some survived. In addition, all the land creatures outside the ark died, but the representative of all kinds that survived on the ark lived in the new world after the flood. Those land animals, including dinosaurs, found the new world to be much different than the one before the flood. Due to 1, competition for food that was no longer in abundance, 2, other catastrophes, 3, men killing for food and perhaps for fun or for protection, 4, the destruction of habitats, many species of animals eventually died out. The group of animals we now call dinosaurs just happened to die out too. In fact, quite a number of animals became extinct each year. Extinction seems to be the rule in Earth history, not the formation of new types of animals as you would expect from evolution. So, just to summarize what we learned about dinosaurs, dinobites. Dinosaurs were created along with every other creature in the beginning. Dinosaurs are mentioned in the Bible and elsewhere in literature. Dinosaurs roamed the planet with humans. Dinosaurs probably mostly died out after the flood, although some continued to exist. Any questions on dinosaurs? Yes?
I just want to know how they say that the world is over 65 million years old.
There are some things that tend to make us think that it's that old. Apparent age. And like I've said before, if you were there when God created Adam, he's there and you did some tests on him, I think you would find evidence of age. Yeah, I'm sure he had dense bones, just like he had used them. I'm sure that there were other things about him that made him look like he was 30 years old-ish, right? So just like God could create Adam in a mature state, he can create the earth and the universe in a mature state with all the mechanisms for the birthing of stars from nebula and et cetera, the dying out of stars. That's what I personally think.
The paleontologists look at the rock strata. The deeper you go, they say the older the fossils you have.
Right.
But it's inconsistent if you study it.
Right. I think we may have touched on that before while you were helping getting people in.